All right, hello and welcome to our latest edition of Divorcing Dilemmas. For those of you, if this is your first time, my name is Amanda Porter. I'm a family law attorney, so I represent people going through divorce. And the reason I started this video series is because while I'm well equipped to help people with their legal issues, many people getting divorced have a lot more issues than just the legal issues. And so I like to introduce them to fabulous experts who can help talk them through various areas they may be struggling with and let them know about some options. So this month we have with us Terri Churchill, who is a financial coach. Terri, welcome. Thanks so much for joining us.
Hi, yeah, thank you for having me.
So I think a lot of people have heard of a financial advisor, but I'm not sure as many people have heard of a financial coach. So can you briefly tell us what a financial coach is and does?
Yeah, well, the difference is a financial advisor works with people that have money to invest and mainly towards retirement and more long-term and specifically investments. I work with people more on the day-to-day financial issues, goals, and things that they want to accomplish. So a big part of that is budgeting and figuring out where the money's going and making a plan for that on a monthly basis.
All right, awesome. And that's one of the reasons I wanted to talk to Terri, because I think certainly some of my clients do have retirement accounts that they need to figure out what to do with. So some of them absolutely need a financial advisor, but almost all of my clients are having to refigure out their budget. Maybe they weren't in charge of finances before. Maybe it's just, suddenly having one income where there used to be two is really difficult. And so having someone like Terri help them through that process can be very helpful. So can you tell us a little bit about your process, Terri?
Yeah, I work with people using a program I developed that consists of 5 A's. I call them the A+ program, 5 A's. So just very briefly, it's not really a step-by-step process, but we work in all 5 of these areas. And so one is awareness and being aware of the income, what's coming in and what's going out, which I would imagine in a divorce would change significantly from 2 incomes to 1. And then we talk about the second A, aim. What is the goal? What is your goal? And that also would change when you're, your goals are together with someone versus now you have individual goals. And then the third A is action. What action steps we need to take to make that happen? And accountability, which is a huge part of any goal, any process. And so as a financial coach, I provide that accountability as we develop the plan and the goals to stay back. And then the last A is analyze. And that just means every month we look at things and analyze how's it going. Are we moving in the direction we want to, or do we need to tweak some things or change some things? So that's, in a nutshell, that's the process.
That's awesome. I think that accountability step is so important, because I know I have certainly in the past, I'll set a budget and then, a month later it's like, well, who cares? I really want whatever it is. I know it's easy to set those goals, and then also easy to just not pay attention to them as much.
So that's great. Not to implement.
Yeah, exactly. It's that's the hard part, is actually implementing it. So now if somebody's just getting started, maybe they've never done their finance, maybe their spouse always did the finances, maybe things have just changed so much that it's like they're starting from scratch and they're, freaked out, getting divorced. What are some good tips to get started? What are some things that they can do to try to get that under control?
Well, the biggest thing I would say would be to focus on the action A. And the first action I always tell people is just start keeping track of your spending. How much are you spending every month, and in what categories? So if you write everything down that you spend for a month, it can really be life-changing, because what it does is it creates that other A, which is awareness. And once you know how much you're spending, you have so much more control. And that's what I see when I work with people, is the biggest struggle they have is they don't know where the money's going. They might have a really good idea of how much is coming in. And it's like, well, I don't know, is it enough or isn't it? Because it's all gone before my next check comes or before the end of the month. So writing everything down, one, it just helps you be aware, because when you go to spend that money, you think, okay, I have to write this down. But also it just gives you a great snapshot of what you're spending money on. And then you get to decide, is that where I want to spend my money? So that's where I always recommend people start, is just write down everything that you spend for a month.
That's great. And that's also nice because that dovetails nicely with for in the divorce process. If anybody's asking for spousal maintenance and you need to come up with a budget, that's super helpful because I've seen so many people with just really unrealistic budgets where I'm like, well, you never eat out? Oh yeah. Or you never, do anything for fun, or you never have to buy shampoo, whatever it is. And we have some tools to try to help with that. But yeah, or people, oh, I spend $100 a month on groceries for 4 kids and me.
Yeah, people are surprised at how much they spend on groceries. That's probably the biggest area where people are like, oh my gosh, I had no idea. The other thing is things will come up that you forget about. So as you track your expenses, and then all of a sudden you need an oil change. Oh my gosh, I don't plan for that every month. And so there are these costs that come up, maybe not every single month, but they pop up. And so to be able to plan for those, once you realize, oh, that's right, I do need to do that every 3 months, you can even plan for that in your monthly budget.
Yes, exactly. No, that's great. Are there any other tips or anything that you'd want to offer for people going through a divorce?
Well, the next most important thing it can't fall to me as far as starting out is the awareness, being aware of your thoughts around money. So many people deal with, well, I actually have not met a person yet that doesn't deal with fear, anxiety, hopelessness when it comes to money. Maybe not all the time, but there are periods of time where we all feel like that. No matter how much money we have, we'll go through periods where we're thinking, and if we can be aware of those thoughts and stop them, and look at things realistically and look at the numbers and come up with a plan. But a lot of times we're not aware that we're living in fear. And going through a divorce, I can't imagine the amount of fear that would be involved with all of a sudden I'm on my own and I need to figure this out, or possibly the loss of that second income, or maybe even someone else has been handling the finances.
Yeah.
So the thing I recommend to people in any situation is, after tracking your expenses, pay attention to your thoughts around money, and then start thinking, intentionally changing your thoughts to be hopeful. I can do this. I can figure this out. I'm going to come up with a plan, and start retraining your brain to be solution oriented around finances.
All right, that's awesome. Thank you so much. We need to wrap up, but really quick, I did want to point out that, you can work with people who are going through a divorce, but you also work with couples if they're struggling, so possibly to even prevent a divorce. Is that right?
Absolutely. I've seen amazing results with communication and having a common goal in the area of finances as I work with couples. Yeah.
So whether you're starting to head that direction because of finances, or if you're already going through a divorce, I would recommend reaching out to Terri and getting some help if your finances are causing you stress or, anything like that. So depending on what platform you are watching this on, her contact information is either below us or to the side, or, somewhere around the screen, but definitely reach out for more information and see if she can help you. So thank you, Terri, so much for joining us.
Thanks, Amanda.
All right. Bye.